Trying to make it potentially a one-possession game. Up and under Pacey's. That's what they needed right there. Force one here. Up to Chin, who throws it down. Minkler, good ball fake. Gets to the 10. Count it and the foul. 2 buzzer beaters to his credit. Goes down the lane. Double pump.
There it is.
Good! Another! Another! And it's a steal by Soden. Soden to the rim. He's got the layup, and Bedford's got the lead. McGeady drives, Strand open, three-pointer up and in. Wow. And they come up with a steal. O'Connell looking for the flush.
Big guys shoot twos.
Step back, Castro trying to tie the game. Juanena up the sideline, Castic way, double pump. Shot up and in! Up and in! Trying to find Bono. It's up! Mike with the steal! Mike is going to run up the court! Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Manchester. Nick Anastas, Justin Gorham with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Opening night statewide. You can feel the buzz here in the gym. 2 historic programs. At this point, of course, Bedford is the defending champ. Manchester Central, 5 championships over the course of the last 20 years, the last one coming in 2016. We'll start with Bedford. Of course, they were the number 1 seed a year ago. They got the job done in the championship over Pinkerton, and they bring a lot of that team back this season. Of course, the conversation typically starts with senior forward Luke Soden, one of the best pure scorers in the state. Central on the other side, on their home floor, always tough. They've got a deep roster under now longtime head coach Sudi Lett. Athletes, as we've talked about off air. This one, a lot of folks think that Frank Moreno's squad may roll tonight, but Central has other ideas, and I have a feeling this one may be more competitive than people think.
Well, I think they're always tough to beat at home. They always have been. Doesn't matter what, how good they are, how good they're supposed to be. They're always tough at home. They'll play Bedford tough. I don't know how long. It may be, 2.5 quarters of close game. But like we said earlier, athletes can win at any time. Maybe Bedford doesn't shoot as well tonight. It's the first game. They're trying to find some new players. And Central will, look at them. They're dunking in warm-ups. They're jumping all over the place. So always athletes. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out versus, a sort of a structured, really well-run Bedford team.
Yeah. Frank Moreno now another year on the sideline. Of course, he was an assistant for nearly a decade. Other stops in other spots. He ends up back in Bedford, and the program is his from really top to bottom at this point. Opening night, a lot of nerves, a lot of excitement for the players. As a head coach, how do you temper that with your squad here about to hit the floor?
Well, I think you have to remember, if you're a home team, you're going to be more excited because your fans are here, a lot of your friends are here, right? So you're going to take some bad shots. You might miss some early shots, air balls, that kind of thing. So you just got to remind them just to keep playing. Don't worry about it. You may have to call an early timeout if they're just way too wild and woolly. But a lot of times, like the away team will play great the first night when they're in another team's building. I remember I had a team that was phenomenal opening night when we play somewhere else. So it didn't matter. The jitters were there, but they were great. So it just depends. You have to recognize it early, I think, and say, well, should I call timeout or do I let them play through it? But you only have 8 minutes in a quarter, though. Games are short.
Some keys both ways tonight. I know it's opening night. We're not quite sure what to expect with some of these teams, but in your mind, what are some things that need to happen both for Central and Bedford?
Central has to be really good and disciplined defensively against the Bedford team who is really good offensively. You're not going to stop Soden or O'Donnell necessarily, but you might want to contain them a little bit, keep them from getting 30 or 40 on opening night, and in turn, Bedford needs to make sure they don't play into that maybe high-paced running game if that's what it turns into. Athletic-wise, it could be a little difference, but you want to make sure that Bedford plays the way they're supposed to play, and then they win. Central, in turn's got to try and match that somehow.
All right. When we come back, national anthem, starting lineups, and then opening night tip-off here in Manchester. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another athletic program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Ready to rumble here on opening night. Live from Manchester, Nick Anastas, Justin Gorham. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. Presented by Beals Insurance. Bedford, the defending Division I champion, opening up at Manchester Central. And the Bulldogs are going to win the tip. Kazajanski, who took the tip, is going to get the opening bucket on a nice feed up ahead from Nico Bedoyan.
He played well last year off the bench. 2-2-1 zone press by Bedford early. See how Central handles it.
Into the front court with one of their guards. That's Isaiah Diaz. And now they'll pull it back out here on the opening possession. This is the senior guard, Mohammed
Square.
Expected to run the show tonight for Coach Lett. Here's Mohammed. Puts the left shoulder down into the lane. Extra pass frees up a shot. A good look from straight away for Dalton. Tyler Folsey just off the mark, and the rebound goes to Bedford.
That was a deep three early, very deep.
O'Connell, a 15-footer, good off the pull-up.
Love it. Love the 15-footer off the dribble.
That's Brady O'Connell. He's going to steal the inbound, leave it for Bedoyan, who's fouled on his way to the rim.
Right now, do you think already the press is hurting them already, so you might want to either call timeout early or, hey, fellas, they're pressing. Do we have a press break? Are we going to run a press break that we've used and maybe practiced?
Well, you see Coach Lett right now addressing his guys from the home sideline. That Bulldog pressure, about as good as it gets statewide, was a big part of that championship DNA from a year ago.
They were better when they pressed, I thought.
Yeah.
They were okay, half court wise. They kind of, let the other team come to them on their end when they're playing defense. But they were much better when they pressed. And if they pressed the whole time, this could turn out to be very disconcerting for the Little Green.
Meanwhile, a minute in, we've got a scoreboard issue.
Already a scoreboard issue.
We're in good hands as Tommy Amin.
He's a legend.
A legend.
He is. He's
an understatement here in the Manchester area. He's made stops at all three public high schools. Now as a volunteer.
He is.
And he's basically a mathematician when it comes to the statistics. He's over there doing the board, and they're trying to figure out what the electronic issue is here with the scoreboard in the gym.
I know the score's right. I think the time is right? We're accurate there. Although maybe we've had more than a minute go off the clock.
Coach Moreno in the area as well. And now ready to resume. So here we go. The junior Nico Bedoyan at the free throw line, the 5'9" right-hander.
Another one. Played well off the bench last year for them.
He's played now at the varsity level for 3 years. Got some time as a freshman off the bench. Contributed, as you mentioned, last year, and now as a junior as a starter. Going to go 0 for 2 as he leaves the second one short. Rebound muscled away by Tyler Folsey. And Central trying to get on the board here with a minute gone by, and a travel is called against Mohammed. The pivot foot slipped a little bit there. That's Central's second giveaway.
If you watch, too, when Central catches the ball, a lot of kids do it. They shuffle their feet before they make their move, and that's going to get called as the game goes along and the refs sort of get back into the flow.
Central in a man-to-man. Kazajanski down the lane, right-hand finish.
No fear attacking the basket. No fear.
A slashing move for his second field goal, and now Kazajanski in the backcourt trying to tie up
Another one
of the Central guards, and it leads to a travel.
You know, we've talked about this a million times last year. How do you beat a full-court zone press? What's the key?
Ball. The pass, right?
Yeah, but where does the ball go? Where are you looking for the ball to go?
To the middle.
Absolutely. You got to have somebody flash in the middle right now. And maybe we're talking about that over there.
Yeah, I was about to say, Coach Lett going to call a timeout and probably address that as Central has turned it over twice in the backcourt and 3 times here total in the first minute and a half. Bedford a 6-0 lead, 4 early points for Austin Kazajanski. Another one of these veterans with multiple years at the varsity level. Kazajanski, as a sophomore, able to contribute off the bench, and now 2 years later as a senior, he's got 4 of the first 6 points of the year for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and that's rare. Soden hasn't even shot the ball yet.
No.
And last year he shot a lot of shots, but they have a lot of guys that can score, so I don't think they're too concerned about that. Yeah. I mean, if I'm him, though, I mean, I might want to lead the state in scoring, you know, just because, right?
It's a pretty good accolade.
Why not?
I'd say. Yeah,
why not say you want to do that? And he probably was close last year if he didn't do it.
Right.
I thought maybe he did, but
yeah, he was instrumental during that Bulldog run. Some really memorable performances. 42 points in a big spot, and he dropped 30 plus consistently. Here he is in the corner. Extra feed. Bedoyan sets up Kazajanski, who's got the hole.
Wow.
3-pointer.
He's en fuego, Kazajanski.
7 of the 9 for Bedford. It's a 9-0 lead for the Bulldogs. And now the game's first foul.
That was a good timeout. It's going to
come against here the Bedford defense.
Good timeout by Coach Lett, just because they needed that. They were just, you got to be able to get a shot. They had one shot at the basket.
There's Mohammed trying to go around O'Connell into the lane. Little teardrop, no. Back iron miss. Ball is loose in the corner. And it goes out of bounds back to Bedford. Pretty good look there for Mohammed. Just couldn't get it from 14.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad 10-footer.
Well, Coach Lett trying to coach up this defense. Central in a zone here after opening up in a man. 3-pointer out of the corner for Soden is short. Now the Little Green want to run. Mohammed not ready on the receiving end, and that one goes out of bounds. Well, there may be those home jitters.
A little bit,
talking
yeah.
about
I think
on opening night.
That. Yeah, no doubt.
Meanwhile, subs for the first time. Coach Lett going to go to the bench. As
Olmeda, I think Olmeda is number 5.
Yeah, Wesley Olmeda is checked in, 5'8" guard. Meanwhile, the call reversed. That ball was last touched by the Bedford defense, so Central will get another crack here. Trying to get on the board with just over 2 minutes gone by. Here's Almeida.
A lot of dribble handoffs.
This is Sean Venator, and he lost it. Taken away by Bedford. O'Connell into the middle for Soden, who puts it off the window.
There he is.
That's got the Bedford fan base fired up. There's a large student section. Made the trip east. And as usual, Bedford well represented on the road. Meanwhile, another whistle is going to reset things here. I believe a second foul called against Bedford.
Yeah, he called a blocking foul down the sideline on the break when Central was attacking. I didn't see the foul at all. At least Central's getting the ball in quickly, though, on the press now, right? So the made basket, you got to get the ball in quick. You don't want to throw the ball to the corner in a zone press because that's where the traps are. I mean, so you want to try and get it somewhere around the elbow out at the wing area if they can flash that way and get it, and then get the ball in the middle and go.
Meanwhile, there was not
what do we have here?
A foul. The officials are going to talk about it.
We have a
technical against Central.
That could be a number error issue. We're looking at some number issues on here. It could be a number.
May have been a book violation, the wrong jersey.
Yeah, number wasn't in the book, according to the fans, so then he gets one. He missed the first one, didn't he?
Yeah, a rare miss.
They've missed 3 so far tonight. There's one.
Soden's going to go 1 for 2.
Well, I don't want to get into that, but if Central can handle the press and just find a way to score, then they can stay in the game. But right now they can't score. They're not getting any good shots. I mean, they've had one good look at the basket, but that's it. And the 3-2 zone is smart when you're playing against a team that can shoot. Right? Get out on the shooters, know where they are, stay out wide, and make them shoot 15-footers, 10-footers. No threes.
Coach Moreno going to make sure that Soden's got the ball here against the zone.
That's coming way out, too.
Yeah, I was about to say,
way out.
They're out nearly at midcourt with this 3-2. Soden for 3. Short. Offensive rebound is pulled in by Landon Ellsworth.
Steal.
Sophomore lost it, and Central's going to get on the board with a fast break. Easy, uncontested layup for Almada as the Little Green go defense to offense to get on the board. It's 13-2.
That was a good play. Anticipation on the bad lob pass on the skip.
Meanwhile, Coach Moreno upset at midcourt. The official's going to talk about it again here.
Time issue, maybe? Either we're not getting enough time off the clock, or
well, they keep looking up at the clock.
It is a slow quarter thus far. 4:58. I feel like we've been playing for a little bit longer than that.
Just over 3 minutes gone by. Bedford against the zone. O'Connell lobs it back. Torek has it. Jansky is blocked from behind as Mohammed got a piece of the basketball. That's got the home fans fired up.
Good block from behind. Let's see if Central plays man in the out of bounds or playing zone in the out of bounds as well.
We got a timeout here. Coach Moreno wants to draw something up nearly midway through first quarter. Bedford out in front 13-2. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. And by the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. Nick Anastas, Justin Gorham with you. Opening night statewide. Defending Division I champion Bedford scored the first 13 tonight here on the road at Central and lead here at the midway point of the first quarter by a score of 13-2.
Central staying in that 3-2 zone, trying to trap. Trapping the middle is very difficult.
Back door. And an up and under move for Spencer Henrishon. Big key member of that Bedford State Championship football team. The defensive end gets his first bucket off the bench tonight.
Good rebound. Tough inside. Strong kid.
Meanwhile, a foul comes against the Bulldogs. And that one along the sideline, the team's second foul here in the first quarter. Mohammed puts his head down to the rim, gets it off the window. And then the steal off the inbound. Mohammed thought about it. One dribble down the lane. He's got two more. The 5'9" senior guard, Mohammed
squared is keeping him in the ball game.
4 minutes in, it's back to a single-digit game at 15-6. Kazajansky, a jump stop, and he was hit on the wrist. And will shoot two.
They have to make sure when Central fouls or they make a mistake, they got to make sure they stay under control. Don't get too excited. Don't get angry. You know, the game is you foul. I mean, we can't all act like LeBron when we get fouled in high school, right? We can't whine and complain and fall on the ground. I'm a Laker fan, but I'm not a LeBron fan.
Well, it's going to be tough to keep your composure tonight. Two rabid fan bases here.
Absolutely. And another rare free throw miss for Bedford. That's, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 4.
Yeah, they're just 1 for 5 collectively so far. Kazajansky's first trip to the line. He's the high man early with 7 points. Missed that one off the back iron. The rebound goes to Central. A long outlet pass frees up Almeida. Who's got another layup. Wesley Almeida. Couple of buckets off the bench. Central has scored now 6 unanswered. They're within 7 at 15-8. And a reach-in foul is called near midcourt. O'Connell, took it across the forearm.
Good rebound by 23, and then Almeida leaked out. I'm not too sure who 23 is because he's not in the book, but good leak out Almeida, right? Wide open. Bedford's got to see that. You got to make sure you're aware when they leak out.
Soden to the rim. They're going to say no. Offensive foul.
Oh, that was on a screen, I believe.
Was it the screen or was it Soden with the off arm? Either way, it's against Bedford.
I wish they put that up so we could see who he called that on. I have to take a look at it. I think there was an illegal screen right there.
Yeah.
10.
So
10. Is it 10?
Again, Central, they figured out the press now. They're getting layups. This one, the first bucket for Yori Abrams. Another senior guard here in the rotation for Coach Lett.
Oh, that was Dylan Soden who's in the game right now. Oh, good. Reaching in. They're getting excited. See, you get a little excited, you start to reach. They were down. They were scoreless for, 4 minutes.
And they have now scored.
We got 10 unanswered at this point, right?
8 unanswered.
8 unanswered.
And are within 5 as we creep towards 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. So O'Connell to the line. We know about his story. The talented junior, been a part of this team now for 3 seasons. Suffered a horrific leg injury towards the end of last season, but out there with no brace tonight.
I was surprised about that, too.
And he knocks down 2.
Tear. No brace.
He's got 4 early. There's a steal for Bedford. Knocked away and nearly kept alive by Zaya Diaz. But he ends up in the first row, and Bedford ends up with the ball.
He called either a carry. I thought it looked like not an over and back, but
he was just out of bounds.
He gave the.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, the carry over the backside or over the half.
Soden, acrobatic shot. No, his brother is right there on the glass, and a foul is called.
Good strong rebound inside. Make sure cleaning up for his brother's misses.
That's Dylan Soden. Again, another big piece of that Bedford championship on the gridiron, showing some physicality there under the rim.
Let's see if he can shoot some free throws.
First one is short. Meanwhile, Coach Lett continuing to coach up the defense.
Had a little trouble last time with the press, too much dribbling on the press. On the zone press, unless you have a guy that can dribble through it, and there are guys that can do that, you've got to pass the ball, and you've got to get the ball to the middle.
One more for Dylan Soden, up and in.
There's
Pass
the middle.
goes down the middle. Ends up with a shot, wide open. Ahmed for 3. Almeida, Central's leading scorer, 7 off the bench.
Almeida came out of nowhere.
O'Connell a pull up, gets a friendly roll. His second field goal. Almeida runs into a double team, floats a pass for Diaz across the lane, and there's the layup. That's Sean Venator on the receiving end, the 6'4 forward with the bucket.
A little too much excitement early.
And now the coach
We have a warning
on the
I
Bedford
believe.
sideline. Yeah, all 3 coaches up in arms. We've got a warning here, I believe, against the Bulldog bench.
No, I think it was on number 4.
Tough to tell.
Abrams, I think,
On
hit
Central.
the ball after the basket went
Okay.
through, and so they gave him a warning.
So it's a delay of game warning against Central. Meanwhile, 3 for Soden. No good. Kazajanski off the bounce keeps it alive. Entry pass was bobbled. Outlet pass picked off. O'Connell down the lane. Soden is open. Baseline J is in the hole.
You can't leave him open for a 15-footer.
The lead back to 7. Coach Moreno trying to inspire the defense. Inside of 2 minutes, first quarter. Diaz to the rim, a double pump. Woo! That's a good take. First bucket for the junior guard, Isaiah Diaz. And now another foul is coming here against Central.
See, you're going to get in foul trouble early. They're going to be shooting a lot of free throws because they get a little excited after that play, and then they come back and reach. Everybody does it. You get excited, you come back, you think you can make another play, so you reach and stick your hand in there, and then boom, cookie jar, caught, foul.
I think that's the message here from Coach Lett, trying to calm his guys down a bit.
They're hanging in there. Right now they're starting to play better. They take the ball to the basket. Tough. No fear.
Remember, Bedford scored the first 13 points of the game. Since then, Central has made their move. Meanwhile, free throw rolls in for O'Connell. He's got 6 here in this first quarter. Coach Moreno going to take Kazajanski off the floor and bring back Henrich after a short break.
That'll be interesting to see how they do. Kazajanski scored early, and they need guys to score inside.
Well, Bedford in a zone here. It looks like a matchup. 2-3. Coach Moreno animated on the sideline.
Not sure he thinks that Central can shoot, so it'll be interesting to see how Central attacks it.
They'll go high post. There's the J, but it won't go.
It's a good way to attack it. The ball goes to the high post.
Rebound goes to Thomas Braga, the senior, who just checked in. Backdoor feed is way too high.
Ooh.
And O'Connell knew it. He taps himself on the chest and says, my bad.
You know, hey, Wemby's not catching that.
No.
You've seen Wemby. He's not catching that.
That's the second turnover for Bedford. So Central a chance to make it a 2-possession game here, which was really unthinkable. About 3 minutes in, it looked like Bedford was about to blow doors here in the opener, scoring the first 13. But again, not so fast as the Little Green have figured it out over the last several minutes. Can they score here?
Look how wide open the middle is.
Little no look, was tipped away by the defender. Last touch by Dylan Soden. It'll stay here with Central.
Whitted is at the high post, who's now taking the ball out of bounds.
That's Tavon Whitted. Yep.
Tavon Whitted wide open at the high post.
Almeida, sidestep 3, left it short. Offensive rebound is put back up and in. That's Abrams.
Abrams with a big offensive rebound. That's only their second offensive rebound in the game so far.
Abrams, his second bucket. Soden for 3, showing the range, but
Abrams again.
That one too strong. Abrams' outlet for Diaz is off target. And off the youngster's fingertips, out of bounds, back to Bedford with just under 40 seconds remaining. All right, Coach Moreno going to bring Kazajanski back onto the floor after a very short rest. Going to replace Dylan Soden.
A relatively high-scoring first quarter, it turns out to be for both teams.
I'd say.
It didn't look that way when we first started. I didn't see it.
Soden is fouled.
Hands.
They're going to get Almeida for the reach.
And if you watch, he says it's not a foul. Players never think they foul, but he sticks his hand right on him as he goes. That's a foul. You're impeding the progress.
And as a result, Bedford is going to head to the free throw line as Central is over the limit. 32 seconds left.
We're over the 10 foul limit.
Might be.
Yeah, he's shooting 2. That wasn't on the shot, so we're over the 10 foul limit. With 32 seconds left in the first quarter.
Soden now 3 of 4 at the line.
That's going to pose a bit of a problem here as we go forward in the half.
7 is the lead. Central, will they hold for the final shot?
You know I'm a big fan of that, right? Wait, take the last shot.
Whitted in the high post.
Don't give him another chance.
Gives up the dribble. But Moreno wanted to travel. Not going to get it. Clock down to 10 seconds. Diaz will fire a 3. And that one is good. Got the friendly roll, and that's got the crowd excited.
Wow.
Final shot for Bedford. Soden from way downtown is off the mark. Got a high-scoring affair here in Manchester. Season opener, defending champion Bulldogs. They're in for a challenge tonight.
Ooh,
Central within 4 after 1. Second quarter on the other side. When we come back, you are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, welcome back here to Manchester Central. Nick Anastas, Justin Gorham with you. Bedford, a 4-point lead after one, a high-scoring first quarter. Here on opening night, now our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Bedford scored the first 13 out of the gate. Looked like they were going to blow it open. Central, after a timeout from Coach Lett, came back a little more poised and have figured things out on the offensive end. A good look on the out of bounds. A second try won't go. Venator is rejected, but a foul is called.
They're hanging in there just because they're playing hard. Right now they're playing hard, and a little confidence gained by that comeback, because they did make a comeback, a valiant comeback. They were turning the ball over early. They have fouled too much, as we talked about a minute ago. They're at 10 fouls already, shooting 2 shots. Bedford is for the rest of the half. So that's tough to overcome.
Yeah, that may affect the defensive strategy for sure. Meanwhile, Venator gets his first free throw to roll, listed at 6'4", the junior, 3 points so far off the bench. Another on the way. That one is no good. Ball is loose near side, and a good effort. But
Abrams
out of bounds.
Wow.
Abrams almost able to toe the sideline and keep that alive.
I love his effort. He was the guy on the boards in the offensive end. Love his effort.
Let out a yell after that one.
Still
a lot of emotion here tonight. Two competing fan bases, as Bedford has traveled well and the Central fans have turned out. Up the floor, Diaz rejected by Kazajansky.
Wow, then he said something afterwards.
O'Connell can't get it to go over the shoulder, and then a foul is called on the rebound against Bedford. It's a horse race tonight.
We need a replay.
So we get another look here, the back and forth action, end to end. Kazajansky, the big block, and then the yell after the swat.
He kind of turned and gave a little action there, a little vocal action. Surprised the referees didn't call an early tee just to calm everybody down just a tad.
It's a one-possession game. Central can tie with a 3. Whitted into the lane, double pump short, second try, and a block. A little bit of body maybe there, but
got hit low hard.
The official's going to let it go. Meanwhile, wide open in the corner for 3. That one is no good for Logan O'Connell. The sophomore has come on. Bedford a second try. That one too strong from Henryshawn.
Wow, there's Abrams
and then a foul.
Abrams again on the boards, tough.
He's got 3 rebounds by my count.
I got him with 4 rebounds, couple offensive rebounds.
Sounds even more accurate. He got inside of the bigger defender there and drew the over the back. So with just over a minute gone by, second quarter, Coach Moreno going to shuffle the cards once again. He's going to take Henryshawn off the floor. And
playing man too.
Yeah. We get a look at Bedford's Connor O'Rourke, the junior, checking in for the first time. Kazajansky, the interception. Looking to push down the lane, right-hand shot, no. Offensive foul.
Saw it. He was waiting the entire time Venator was watching. He was waiting. He made the mistake on the turnover, but he was waiting for that charge.
Now Venator, as you can see, got square, got to the spot in time, and Kazajansky bowled him over.
He just can't turn the ball over on the other end, though. That's kind of an errant pass, not a great pass.
Meanwhile, Diaz nearly had his pocket picked, the ball loose. Bailed out by Tyler Folsey, underneath to Venator. Can't bank it. This one tipped for Diaz and then ripped away by Logan O'Connell. 2 big steps to the rim, and he gets the 2. That's his first bucket off the bench.
That's his first action, right? First action of the game so far.
So O'Connell the younger checks in here. And he is now the 6th different Bulldog to get into the scorer's book. It's a 5-point game. Diaz in some trouble in the corner, throws it off the defender's hip.
Too much dribbling, Nick. Way too much dribbling.
Substitutions. As Coach Lett going to bring some fresh legs on. 3 new players into the game. Ashner Zegno, 5'9" senior, will inbound here on the baseline. Mohammed returns. And Abrams is going to be fouled on the catch. Or no. Okay, yeah, he stepped out. Had that left foot, it looked like, on the baseline.
He slipped. Got a little wide, and he slipped, I think.
Bedford is now 4-6 Central turnovers. You can see they're just barely over the line. So good defense by the Bulldogs. Bedford, they've never trailed tonight. 2 minutes in, second quarter. Their lead is 5, trying to make it a 3-possession game here. This Central zone has been aggressive.
Middle wide open, though. They just got the ball in the middle. Let's see what big fella can do when he catches the ball in the middle.
Soden thought about it. Sets up O'Connell for 3. Around the rim, no. The other O'Connell with the rebound and then a foul.
We got dual O'Connells. We got dual Sodens. We got double names all over the place tonight.
A family affair in Bedford.
They just keep coming. Good feeder program, too. Yeah. I think that's why they're so good. Good.
And, of course, a notable absence tonight, Aiden O'Connell, who was a big part of that championship DNA a year ago with Bedford, of course, graduated back in June. He's the cousin of the 2 players on the floor tonight, Logan and Brady.
Got to make a bounce pass on that. Big fellas have trouble with those passes.
Here's a back door. Trayshawn Dunn in trouble. Fades right, no. And this one tipped out of bounds. It'll stay at this end.
Good effort, good effort. Middle's open on both sides of the zone, too. If players can get the ball to the middle and you have confidence that your middle, whoever's in the middle can score, you're in good shape.
Coach Moreno goes to the bench again. As Dylan Soden is back on. So both Sodens, both O'Connells in the lineup for Bedford. And the 5th is Landon Elsmore. Inside, count it, and the foul.
Ooh, man.
That's DeJuan Tyler Folsey.
Tyler Folsey with a rebound and a putback.
A strong second effort. Able to use the window. Took a pretty good shot.
Yeah, take a look at his head, though. He hit his head pretty hard on the floor.
That's what I mean. Shot. On the landing, he took a pretty good bump. He's okay.
Well, we hope he is. If they show it when you...
There he is. He went down in midair, got taken out.
Made
3-point play completed. Central haven't had too many free throw attempts in this first half. They make the most of that one. They're within 2 at 28-26. Extra pass, Soden wide open. 3-pointer is short. Tipped out to Mohammed. He wants to run. 2 big steps to the rim, and he draws the foul.
Mohammed.
He's been fearless in transition. Scored 4 points in that first quarter and a chance to add to his total, but more importantly, a chance to tie the game here, Justin, at the midway point second quarter.
Wow. And I'm confused, too. We had a 2-shot situation in the first half. I thought we had 10 fouls. They just took the ball out of bounds underneath a minute ago. Soden got 2 shots on a baseline when he pushed. It was no shot, and we had 2 shots. So why did Bedford not shoot free throws last time on that foul underneath the basket?
Hard to tell without the team fouls on the board here, which is unfortunately the case.
And is that what they're only probably third, fourth free throw they've taken so far?
Yeah. In fact, you're right. That's 2 misses for Mohammed, 4 total attempts
they've made
for
1.
Central. Neither team has been able to cash in at the line.
No, they have
in this
not.
First half.
And that's surprising for Bedford, I think.
So skip pass got away from him. Ends up in the Central fans.
Kids are
in the
excited.
Student section.
Kids are excited.
I'm going to let them know about it.
Just keep it under control. We want happiness and joy here. It's the holiday season.
That's right.
Love
of course,
and joy.
these 2 teams familiar with one another. Very familiar. Bedford, of course, the neighboring town. And for years and years, of course, it was the Bedford students who attended Manchester West.
That's right.
West Central was one of the bigger rivalries on the hardwood statewide for decades.
It's sad that that's kind of not there anymore. I understand Bedford needs their own school. You have a lot of people that live in town now. But that disappearance of some rivalries as we move along, that's a bit sad. And if it ever closes, West it's going to move and sort of disappear.
3-pointer.
Where's that rivalry? It just disappears with it.
That's Brady O'Connell. He's starting to feel it. We know he can score the ball. He's the first to first to double digits tonight either way with 10 points. Meanwhile, Mohammed had that one rejected. Central will keep it inside of 4 minutes until halftime. 5-point bulge for Bedford.
Central's starting to get away from what they did earlier that they did well. They're over dribbling now. More dribble, kick, that kind of thing. Get rebounds and attack early. Get some steals.
O'Connell down the lane. Little windmill won't go. Dunn with a big rebound for Central. Able to wrestle that one free in a crowd. A pull-up jumper is up and in for Zegno. Central getting some balance here. Now with 6 different scorers of their own. They're going to force a loose ball. They're on the floor, and a timeout is awarded to Central.
Smart decision.
And you can see Coach Lett, he is letting out the emotions, a former Central player
like that.
In his own right, stomping on the ground over there, proud of his guys.
They're hanging in there, Nick. I didn't necessarily, after the beginning of the first quarter, I didn't necessarily see this happening.
It was a 13-0 Bedford lead 3 minutes into the game. Coach Lett called that timeout, which you had called for, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good call, timeout. The press was affecting them early. But why has Bedford sort of drifted away from the press all of a sudden? Look how well it worked early, right? And they're both playing a lot of guys, both teams. It's early, so, there's going to be some fatigue. The excitement brings more fatigue as well.
Right.
But why wouldn't you keep pressing? If you're playing as many guys as Bedford is now, why wouldn't you just keep throwing guys in there and keep pressing? Because it works. It works. Well, keep doing it. Don't outthink it. Just keep pressing and make them make mistakes. That's kind of what
we know
my thought is.
Both head coaches have a deep bag of tricks on the defensive end. We've seen Coach Moreno almost rotate through looks possession by possession on the defensive end. So
I'm a huge fan of that. If you can get kids to switch from defense to defense that easily, that often, okay, we're going to go man, we're going to go 32, we're going to go 23, and you can do that constantly. Some teams can't adjust. There's no way.
Well, let's see what they break the huddle with here. It looks like a half-court man.
And they've used that quite a bit lately, and as we've moved along, they've played man quite a bit.
Central trying to make it a one-possession game, and they will.
Yeah, they do.
It's a 3 for DeJuan Tyler Fulsey. Knocks it down from straight away, and now the game is tied at 31. Soden trying to put Bedford back in front, can't find the touch. Follows his miss, goes to the rim, count that, and the foul.
Ooh, that was a tough shot. They had a hand on it, too. They got a hand. He's tough. That's a guy that can score. He's not shooting very well right now. He's not shooting very well right now. If he gets hot, that's trouble.
He's found a way to get his points, however.
Yeah,
As he goes back to the free throw line. He's got 9 here in this first half, despite, as you mentioned, a couple of shots that haven't gone his way.
Outside, long jumpers aren't going in right now, not falling. But what do you tell a shooter? Keep shooting.
Yep.
Just keep shooting.
Free throw in and out, done the rebound.
Yeah, they're still struggling at the free throw line. You know what that is, too? That's fatigue. That's a little bit of fatigue early. For beginning of the year, fatigue, you just miss free throws.
Meanwhile, a foul on the floor is going to come against Bedford.
I would love to know that. We should probably keep fouls, like team fouls. Maybe I'll keep team fouls next quarter. I want to know kind of where we're at next half, just so we know, like, shooting situation, right?
Well, right now.
So now that's double bonus right
we're
there.
In the bonus. Yeah, Central is.
That's 2 shots. Double bonus? Because he called it before. He called it before the shot on the floor.
So Mohammed to the free throw line. Again, if you're just joining us, opening night statewide. Although that comes with an asterisk. There was one Division I game last night between Pinkerton and Timberlane, but the rest of Division I in action tonight. So we're going with opening night.
What was the result of that game? Do you know? I don't know.
We'll get it to you at halftime.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's a free throw.
Free throw good. Mohammed goes 1 for 2. Central is within 1. Coach Lett clapping his hands, trying to inspire this defense. Again, it's a 3-2. Wide open 3 for Elsmore is up and good.
Nice shot, but he passed up an easy 2-footer. Makes me nuts.
Sophomore with a clean look.
There's that switch of the feet.
A travel is called.
There it is. We've seen that a lot.
A little bit of a shuffle there from Zegno.
But you see how open he got the ball to the middle against the zone on the other end, and he had a layup. He had a 2-footer, and he kicked it out for the 3. That's how the game has evolved, right? I would have taken it too.
Little drive and kick.
But when when you just like right in front of the basket, I always feel like
you would have dunked
shoot
it.
I would have.
You would have dunked it.
Not now. I would have just not even gotten toward the net.
A lot of us are not that lucky.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a travel in the high post.
Good call.
Henry Sean, a little bit of a hesitation, a little bit of a hiccup, and the official is right there.
Yes. And you mentioned dunking. Key word there is would have. Dunked it. Would have. Donuts are about all I'm dunking now.
Right. Meanwhile, here's a driving kick. Done for 3, in and out. Braga the board.
Good look.
Yep. Inside of 2 minutes until halftime. Coming up at halftime. Stats, highlights, analysis, and an out-of-town scoreboard. Meanwhile, It's Braga for 3. Another Bedford score is in the books. Now, 8 different Bulldogs have scored at least 1 point here in this first half. Meanwhile, the lead has crept back to 7. Bedford has rattled off 6 unanswered.
Yeah, you gotta assume everybody, especially with Bedford, everyone's a shooter. You got to get a hand up. Yep. They're trying to trap. Central's trying to trap high, way out.
Meanwhile, Braga is going to pick this one off. Trying to bull his way to the rim, and he's fouled on the elbow.
Got away with a foul. I think Braga did at half court on the steal. So got lucky. Got bailed out on that one.
You see there, good anticipation. A little bit of contact to your point, but the officials let it go, and Braga takes advantage.
And he got there, almost got there to take the charge, too. Almost got there.
Braga, the senior, was part of that rotation off the bench last year and really played his best basketball in the month of March.
Oh, I liked him off the bench a lot.
In the tournament.
I thought he'd be a full-time starter now, unless he's been hurt. I really liked him last year.
He'll be a key member again this year, as he's come off the bench tonight, but has played some pretty good minutes in this first half. One more. Bedford trying to go back up by 8, and Braga gets the roll.
There's a rare make. We used to say last year, remember, a rare miss for Bedford at the free throw line. Right now we're saying a rare make for Bedford at the free throw line.
Yeah, both
right
teams
now
have struggled a bit at the line here in the opener, at least so far. Nonetheless, Bedford with a 40-32 lead. They're on a 7-0 run. Central trying to chip away here in the final minute before halftime. Dunn puts his shoulder down, goes to the rim, and scores off the glass.
Wow, that's a tough shot. That's a very tough shot.
Meanwhile, the ball got batted all the way to midcourt somehow after that layup that drew the official's whistle.
Now, there's been a warning already. Was that maybe we eventually get a replay? I wonder who slapped it away, because the warning means it doesn't matter who slaps it away the next time. It's a tee.
Backdoor, Kazajanski, left hand, no. Offensive rebound leads to a Braga shot. May have been partially blocked by Tyler Folsey. Dunn the other way, lost the dribble.
A little too overconfident. After he made the last basket.
That's Central's 10th turnover unofficially here in this first half.
Really high 3-2 zone still. Almost became a 1-2-2.
Braga for 3. Challenge, won't get it. Diaz, the weak side rebound. Lost it. He goes to the floor. And now it's ruled out of bounds. And it will be Bedford ball. So a second chance here for the Bulldogs with just under 20 seconds remaining. Coach Moreno may want the final shot here.
I would. I'm a huge fan of the final. Oh, that's off the knee.
That one may have gone off the leg.
Oh, wow, that's off the kneecap.
Yeah, it looked like it went off the left leg of Henry Sean, but the officials didn't have the same angle we did. So Bedford may have caught a break there.
I think they may have had a better angle than we did, Nick. The top official did anyway.
All right, 2-possession game here. Down to 10 seconds.
We got the replay. See? Yep.
Three-pointer, Soden. Too strong. Offensive rebound, Kazajanski. Baseline Jade, no. Central trying to get one more off. Folsey in the corner, couldn't track it down.
Almost.
And that will do it for the first half. Bedford jumped out to a 13-0 lead. Looked like the defending champs were going to flex their muscles here on the road. Central responded. Came back to tie the game about midway through that second quarter. Bulldogs rattle off, 7 of the last 8 points to go back up by 6 at halftime, 40-34 here in Manchester.
Yeah, I thought that Central might have been dead in the water for a few minutes early. Got confused, had a difficult time with the press. Bedford stopped pressing, and then what happened, Central kind of caught up, right? And Bedford figured, I think, we've got to really step it up on offense. We've got to push, we've got to attack. And they did, so they were able to come back and kind of, a 6-point lead at halftime. It's still a good lead, but right now I wouldn't count Central out. I mean,
not at all.
If I'm Central, I'm coming out in the second half. I'm pressing right away, unless we have, foul issues, which I know we do on the Central side. But I would continue
a few whistles
pressing.
in that second quarter against Bedford as well.
Yeah,
so
there were quite a few.
Things seemingly evening out
right
on the foul front. All right, coming up in just a few minutes, look back at that first half. Stats, highlights, analysis, and an out-of-town scoreboard as well. Opening night statewide here in New Hampshire. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another athletic program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
unavailable for a minute. They started early. They gave us no time at all. I think we're behind a little bit. So we're going into the second half, 40-34. Bedford leads. So they gave us no time at all, but it was a good first half, and Central kept it close. We thought it was going to kind of get away. But I'll tell you what, if Bedford decides to press, it could get even more difficult. And here he is. He's back. He was indisposed. Hello, sir.
Tough to tell when there's no running clock at halftime.
They gave us no time at all. We had no time.
Meanwhile, Bedoyan left his feet. That got the Central fans upset, but I think he got
dribbled
the ball down in time.
Yeah, he dribbled. That was a weird-looking play.
And an assist goes to him that puts Soden in double figures now with 11. He's the game's high scorer. The lead is 8 for Bedford. Opening night here in Manchester. And another steal for the Bulldogs. They forced 10 turnovers in that first half. O'Connell goes to the glass. That's Brady O'Connell. He's now the high man with a dozen. And the lead is 10, back to double digits for the first time since early in the first quarter.
And that's the last thing you want to see early is that Central all of a sudden gets behind by, 15, 16 early. And it's interesting, Bedoyan didn't play after that beginning when he got in. He didn't play in the rest of the second half, I don't think, or the first half. Sorry about that.
Played a few minutes in that opening quarter, got the start tonight.
What do we have here? What do we miss?
I think we've got a foul here against Central. So an offensive foul.
Nothing,
I believe.
Nothing. Oh, you know what? There was some screening down on the block.
Yeah, I was about to say it may have gone away from the ball. Meanwhile, Coach Lett trying to breathe some fire into his crew. Central in the 3-2. We saw that most of the first half defensively from the Little Green. Bedoyan, double team, lost it. Venator with the steal. Mohammed lightning quick to the rim. He's got to finish.
Good move.
Had 5 in the first half. 2 more for the senior guard. Bedford's lead now to 8. Inside out, Kazajanski thought about it. Bedoyan, now O'Connell. Take a breath. Backdoor. Kazajanski is open. And there's the alley-oop off the window.
Good pass, good catch, good finish.
Kazajanski scored 7 right away. Early in the first quarter, that's his first bucket since. Meanwhile, ball loose. Corralled by Central, given back to Bedford. Outlet. Kazajanski to the rim. Missed the layup. The follow by Soden won't go. Last touch by Mohammed. And Bedford will have it out of bounds on the baseline.
Yeah, if he didn't finish that, that's an easy one for him. We've seen him make tougher shots than that.
Can be tough sometimes at full speed.
It is tough. It is.
A lot of up and down here tonight. Both teams have really looked to push the pace. And as a result, we've seen a lot of opportunities both ways in transition. Wraparound pass. Kazajanski able to correct and score off the window.
There's a press back again. I'm very thrilled to see that. Early jump ball.
And Soden is going to force a tie-up. Jump ball called as Zegno hit the floor. Central has the arrow. So there's that press that forced a lot of Central giveaways in the opening minutes. That helped Bedford build up that 13-0 lead. Whistle here, and there's the press.
Out of bounds.
Zegno stepped out of bounds. Second turnover here for Central in the first 2 minutes of this third quarter. Bedford's lead is 12. They've got a chance now to go up by their largest lead. A 3 out of the corner won't go. Kazajanski skying offensive rebound. Lost it on the way up. Dunn is tied up with Henrishon. And another jump ball is called. Possession arrow this time should stay with Bedford.
You remember what I said? If you have a guy that can dribble through the press, if you're fast enough and can go around him, you got to get a running start and go. It can be done. But you've got to really go. You can't hesitate. It's got to be full speed ahead and just go through the guy. Go through the defender.
Deep 3 for Soden. Around the horn, no. Kazajanski and Dunn again are tied up in the paint.
That's 3 jump balls within the last 1 minute.
Both teams really getting after it on the glass.
Turn it into a third grade recreational girls game on all those jump balls like that, right? Here we go.
That's a sign that both teams are going hard, as we expected tonight. This one tipped near midcourt, goes out of bounds.
That's another one. See the press? The press works.
Yep, last touch by Central. Now a timeout comes from Coach Lett.
Now, how do we handle? He did this last time. Hey, how are we going to handle the press? Let's run the press break.
Yep.
How about get the ball to the middle, swing it around a couple times, get the ball to the middle, and go. Impatience against the press is what causes all the turnovers. Like, you can swing the ball. You have 10 seconds. Ball in, swing it, look in the middle. As soon as the ball gets to the middle, go. You know what we missed on halftime when we had time to talk? We didn't get the one score from last night. We didn't get the one score. How about you give it to us now?
Ask and you shall receive.
This
Again, one lone game on the schedule last night. Pinkerton at Timberlane. The Astros,
Monday.
of course, fresh off a championship appearance last year where they fell to Bedford in the final. Astros roll 68-30. The final as the Astros open up at 1-0 over Timberlane. So there you go.
Wonder why they did that on a Monday.
And, of course, a full slate of games across the state tonight. We'll try to get you some scores coming up after the game. Meanwhile, this one is a 12-point lead for Bedford. A chance to go up 14 or more, which would be their largest lead. Meanwhile, Soden plowed into Dunn, but a foul comes first.
He looked like he was
Central.
there. Must have called a reach.
I think the whistle was before the charge. It goes against Mohammed.
Okay, yeah, he was there for the charge. That was a good play. Stuck his hand in there in the cookie jar again. Got caught.
Floor a little wet after the collision. Player's going to wipe that up quickly. Meanwhile, Henryshawn open on the block, but lost it. Mohammed trying to lead a 2-on-1.
Nope.
And they're going to call this layup off. It's an offensive foul away from the ball.
Yep.
And it's going to go against Wesley Almeida.
That's a moving screen.
Yep. You can see him there on the left side of the screen trying to block off the defender. And the official all over that call. So
that was a good call.
No bucket. Central stays at 36 on the board. They trail at 48-36. O'Connell pivot, fade, short. Mohammed trying to track it down, saves it between the legs. Abrams is there, up ahead to Almeida, across the lane. Layup won't go for Tyler Folse.
Might have been the easiest shot they've had all night.
Never quite had it in his hand. Soden for three, no. Offensive rebound, Kazajanski sent back, blocked by a fired-up Tyler Folse.
He might have got whacked in the face on that one, too. Ooh.
Well, Kazajanski continuing to crash.
Good rebound.
The offensive rebound.
Really good rebounder.
It's his third here in this third quarter alone. Long two for Soden. Line drive miss. A rebound for Dunn here on the near side. Throws it away. Bedoyan is there with the snatch. Can't get it. Ball tipped off the glass. Now loose on the baseline. Dunn. Wraparound outlet pass. Mohammed hits the gas. Goes down the lane. Kicks to the corner. Almeida is ready. The three won't go. Kazajanski, no, make that Soden the rebound for Bedford. Goes down the lane, lost the footing.
Wow.
And the basketball slipped on that wet spot that we mentioned a moment ago.
Yeah, that got him there. He had a pretty much an easy one for him. Take a look, side of the shoe, maybe inside of the shoe. Yikes.
Soden with a rare substitution. He's going to sit here. Doesn't sit often.
No, he doesn't.
Probably won't be for very long. He's on the bench now, though. Meanwhile, Dunn gets a well-deserved rest for Central as well. Mohammed into the lane, blocked by Henryshawn. Up the floor, Kazajanski, two big steps and a finish. Bedford's got their largest lead. It's 50-36 midway through this third quarter. Central needs a bucket. Abrams is there. But they say no shot, foul first on the floor.
Kazajanski, I think, on that one. Abrams again with a rebound. Nice rebound.
See a good pass there by Danny Black, who just checked in for Bedford. That name should be familiar. He was the quarterback for the two-time defending state football champion Bedford Bulldogs. He gets his first action tonight off the bench after not playing at all in that first half. Intercepted. O'Connell for Bedoyan to the rim. There's the layup. That's Nico's first bucket.
Bedford starting to assert themselves a little bit more here offensively.
Up 16 for the first time with inside of 4 minutes now to go in this third quarter. Little Green, they need a bucket. They're going to draw a foul instead.
See, a little too much dribbling still. You got to pass the ball around, maybe get better shots. I mean, that just gets you the foul. I mean, I get it, but everyone's standing around watching him dribble around. We got to see movement. We need to see movement.
Diaz is going to come back onto the floor and replace Abrams, who's going to get a word one-on-one at the end of the bench with Coach Lett. Also, Bedoyan checks out for Bedford. Logan O'Connell is back on. Henrich on the rebound. Outlet intercepted by Mohammed. Down the lane and a foul as the senior is knocked to the floor.
He's tough. He keeps attacking. He gets his shot blocked a lot, but he keeps attacking. He's not very big, so he'll go inside against the trees. It makes it a little tough.
Yeah, listed at 5'9". He's been knocked down frequently tonight. But you're right. He keeps getting back up, putting that shoulder down, and making things happen here for Central. Going to miss the free throw. Had 5 points in that first half. Has a bucket here in the third quarter as well.
And they haven't had that many free throw attempts that we talked about. And if they just made a few, a little bit closer at this point. Both teams, though, like Bedford would be more ahead if they make free throws.
That one off the side iron. Kept alive underneath by Chris Gumma. Sophomore who just checked in. And good effort by Gumma as Central ends up with the possession and a second chance coming up here.
And he didn't play at all in the first half.
No.
So now they have a little bit more size with him in the game.
Listed at 5'11", but you and I talking off air, he looks more like 6'3".
Oh, yeah, easily. Easily. You can watch him warm-ups when he stood next to his coach. He's quite a bit taller than his coach.
Up and under for Whited.
Oh,
wonderful shot
goodness.
there.
The no look.
That's his first bucket, and it comes at a key point for Central. 3 minutes, third quarter. They needed that when they get it, but they surrender it on the other end as Logan O'Connell makes him pay on the baseline.
He's confident. He's confident now.
Whited
there he
step
is.
back,
Confidence.
free, up and in.
Confidence.
He's got this crowd going bananas. And a steal. Whited up ahead for Diaz to the rim, 2 more. Well, Central, they scored in bunches.
They have.
Back in that first half.
Still
and
a 12-point lead.
They have rattled off now
Still.
6 unanswered to get back within 12 at 54-42.
I understand the excitement of the crowd, but you know what, though? You're still down 12. I get it. You're playing well. You've made a couple nice plays here, but you're down 12.
It's been a festive atmosphere tonight.
Oh, indeed, festive. I agree.
Very pleasant.
Yes.
Here on opening night.
We don't want anger. We want joy.
Right. And both student sections have come out to support these two teams. There has been a little bit of back and forth as to be expected, but
early, especially early, and then when Central goes on a run, they get a little
But this
excited.
is the atmosphere that you want to play in if you're a player, for sure.
Yes. It does. It does tend to motivate you quite a bit, especially when if you do something really well and you see that you're the visiting team and you come in and you dunk on somebody's head or do something fun, and guess what? You're feeling pretty good, and you get really jazzed up.
By the way, that was Aiden O'Connell in the crowd, former standout at both Goffstown and Bedford.
That's right.
He's here cheering on his former teammates and his 2 cousins. Here comes the Let's Go Central chant as the bleachers are rattling here as the fan base is stomped down on the green seats. Central is within 11 at 54-43.
Still in that 3-2 zone, but coming way out, trying to trap high.
They got some length on the perimeter. You see Diaz got his left hand on that pass.
Lackadaisical pass, too. You got to make sure, if you got length, throw a bounce pass, right? Throw under the arms, throw by the ear where they can't actually get their hands there in time. Saw that coming.
Steal from behind to the rim, you bet. Central on the march. They're back within 9. It's single digits for the first time since halftime. Another steal. Mohammed across the lane, finished off the window.
I'm not too sure who 23 is, but he's got 4 points.
Back-to-back buckets off of back-to-back steals for Central. Bedford's lead slashed to 7 as this 3-2 zone continues to give the Bulldogs some trouble.
Yeah, this group he has in right now is doing a good job with their length and quickness, kind of making it difficult. Bedford's kind of getting a little shaken up.
Well, it's not your typical 3-2.
No, it's a 1-2-2 right now.
It's a 1-2-2
zone now.
Almost, yeah.
And then they back up into a 3 zone. They're trying to trap the wings out high.
And there's
you
a
can't
foul.
You just can't foul on those non-essential drives.
Well, that's the other side of the coin, right? You want to go ahead and challenge really all the way to midcourt, but as you said, you got to do it rather cautiously. Sometimes that line is tough to walk.
But look what we're doing, though. There's a 3-2 zone, and if you look right now, Bedford's got to match that 3-2 zone, though, and he's got to match the gaps, right? So you got to have 2 guards up top in each gap. Then you can attack the gaps. And your wings can now attack the baseline. You get easy shots, but your players up top, you have to go. If they're playing an opposite zone up top, you've got to be even on offense.
Meanwhile, a foul called in the backcourt, and that is going to put Central over the limit with 1:28 remaining in this third quarter.
Double bonus already? Again, although we're not sure about that.
Soden with the free throw. So 9 points in that first half. He's at 3 more here in this third quarter. Around the rim and out. And the board pulled in by Gumma for Central. Outlet broken up. Chaos at midcourt. Diaz slaps it free. Whitehead back to Diaz, and there's the finish.
Good pass. Back. That was a great pass back.
Layup the other way for Soden. Count it, and the foul. Luke Soden goes right to the rim. So good with either hand. The senior with the lefty finish and a chance for one more.
I love to see the replay just to see if he was close, if he was there. No, that wasn't even close. Good play by Soden. Just attack. Go right at him.
Foul on Whitehead. Soden will get the roll there. So 58-49 as we approach the final minute, third quarter. Mohammed is tied up.
It's a good call. Good jump ball call. That's, again, you don't force that, right? When they don't force it, they're much better.
It drove right into the teeth.
Yeah, you don't
of
force
the defender.
That.
Central, though, they have the possession arrow, so it'll stay at this end. Final minute, third quarter, and another foul is called.
I think we got a call foul on the screen again. Illegal screen.
Yep. It looked like Whitehead may have pushed a little bit there on the pick and roll.
And we're not shooting free throws, so I guess we're not the double bonus. Yeah, I'm very confused here. Shooting free throws at weird times.
Crowd chanting defense. Kazajansky splits the zone and draws a foul at the rim.
He got ball. It was a decent block, but he got a little arm too, but he didn't back down.
Well, Kazajansky's been in attack mode really since the get-go.
Thought he might have got away with a travel early.
Scored 7 points in the opening minutes. A chance to get to double figures here at the free throw line. He's got 9. And that one rolls in for the Bedford veteran. Sorry, I shortchanged him a bit. He's now got 14.
14. Now Central's bringing in a kid, 13, Bama. And we haven't seen Bama yet.
No. That's Anthony Bama, the junior. Number 13, he's going to grab the board. He's going to power out. Central trying to find something in the paint. The ball loose. And it'll stay at this end with a little green.
Tough when a guy hasn't played, the entire game. He comes in, we got a couple guys in. 14. I don't think 14 Gagne has played yet either. And there's a turnover.
The junior. Soden blocked by Gagne, but a foul is called.
Oh, that was a good block. From our angle, that was a good block from our angle.
It's got the Central fans upset.
Good from behind, too.
You see there, Gagne got a lot of basketball with that left hand.
Good help block from behind. I think he got it. But, you know what? We're not officiating, so hey.
Meanwhile, Soden's starting to pile him up at the line.
Like he will.
Right. 6 for 8 after that slow start.
He'll find a way to get his points here as we go along. I think he's just going to keep being aggressive, keep shooting, keep attacking.
The lead a dozen again at 61-49. Down to 20 seconds. And a 5-second violation is called. A rare call as Anthony Bama did not show any penetration.
Nope.
For 5 seconds, Coach Moreno in the ear of the official may have planted the seed there.
That's just
so to speak.
He hasn't played like the whole game we talked about. And he's in. So they kind of, guys get excited. They over dribble. They kind of don't have the ball very much. They don't know what to do.
Kazajanski had it blocked.
And that time he got grabbed on the arm.
Can be tough to jump into the swing of the game as
is.
well in the
you
second half.
And then you expect a guy to bring the ball up and handle the ball.
Right.
It's really hard to do. I don't know how much he plays normally or how much he will play.
Well, here he is. Bama going to fire up a shot out of a double team. No good. Kazajanski lost it off his leg. It's the 6th turnover of the quarter for the Bulldogs. That leaves Central with .4 remaining. So I guess technically enough time maybe to get a tip here. And that'll do it. So, Bedford came out of the locker room swinging.
They
pushed
did.
the lead up to 16 at one point. Central makes a counter run. In the last couple of minutes, go back to the Bulldogs. So all in all, a 61-49 ball game as we head to the fourth quarter on opening night. Do the defending champion Bulldogs leave the gym with a win, or does Central shock the state with a fourth quarter comeback? We begin to find out next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, the final 8 minutes of regulation in what should be a competitive finish. Nick Anastas, Justin Gorham with you. It's been a fun one here on opening night in Manchester. Defending champion Bedford scored the first 13 points of the game. Kazajanski is going to throw it down. And then a technical is called.
Swinging on the rim. What are you doing?
After he hung on the rim with two hands.
What are you doing? Come on. You can't swing one-handed like Tarzan. That's just not allowed.
Well, Kazajanski has played well tonight.
And it's a beautiful dunk. Look at a beautiful dunk. It's beautiful.
Able to get off the floor, the two-hand flush.
There's the tee.
Hangs a little bit, looks at the Bedford fan base, and that was enough for the officials to blow the whistle.
The dunk by itself was beautiful. Beautiful.
Well, tough to temper it in real time.
Oh,
it's
it is.
Exciting,
You get a little crazy. I get it.
An exciting play. About as exciting as it gets in sports.
Oh, yeah.
The fast break slam dunk. But
what happens, though, as they move along and they're playing the game is close, and all of a sudden he does that again. He's not thinking, boom, get in, and now they end up losing by 2.
Right.
That's the only thing I'd worry about.
Meanwhile, Diaz cannot make Bedford pay as he goes 0 for 2 at the free throw line.
I'd take him out just for a minute and talk to him and explain to him, I understand you're excited, but hey, think about as we move along here and we end up playing Pinkerton, who, by the way, is going to be a much tougher game this time, I think, for Bedford than it was even last time.
Astros looked good last night in their season opener, a 68-30 win over Timberlane. Opening night statewide, the exception, of course, was that Pinkerton-Timberlane game. But we're going to try and get you a scoreboard if we can after the game. Meanwhile, this one will stay with Central. Little Green, they trailed 13-0
They did.
They came back to tie the game midway through the second quarter. Trailed again by 6 at halftime. Bedford pushed that lead to 16 in the third quarter. They've had 3 players, the Bulldogs have, in double figures tonight, led by Kazachansky with 16.
And right now, this Central group is not handling the pressure very well with Bedford. The Bedford pressure is doing a good job. Their length versus Central's lack of size is kind of rearing its ugly head here in the fourth quarter. A few turnovers there, not very smart in terms of how you attack.
O'Connell across the lane for Henrishon. That's a pretty dump. O'Connell has played well tonight, as expected for Bedford. Here's a foul on Kazachansky. A little bit of body there trying to break up that pass.
Right now it's leaning a little bit toward a potential big run for Bedford if Central can't find a way to attack this defense. It looks like it might get out of hand.
I'd say we're at a key juncture here.
We are. Very important part of the game.
With a minute gone by in the fourth quarter. Dunn for 3. Line drive miss. Tipped on the weak side. It ends up with Bedford. Soden will bring it into the front court. Goes all the way to the rim. Lefty shot won't go. Ball on the ground in the paint. And a jump ball is called as Henrishon and Abrams tie each other up. That's the 4th jump ball of this second half. Central has the possession arrow. It's actually the 5th tie-up we've seen since the break.
Man. You're right. We've seen quite a few of those.
Mohamed trying to dribble through the press. He's bailed out on the backside by Abrams, but then a foul is called. It's the Bulldog pressure continuing to give Central some problems in the backcourt.
Yeah, too many turnovers. Right now, way too many turnovers at that, like you said. We're at a very important junction here in the game.
I've got 15 giveaways tonight for Central, 10 for Bedford. Of course, that number comes with an asterisk.
No, that you're pretty close, I think. You're pretty close.
I think we're close. O'Connell trying to free himself up. Can't hit. Offensive rebound for the sophomore Landon Elsmore. He's played well tonight off the bench. 3rd try for Bedford. They won't get a shot. It's poked away. And O'Connell with a steal from behind. Took it away from Almeida and then is fouled on the jump shot.
Yeah, stepped into his zone a little bit there. He you're able to come down, and he wasn't able to come down. He usually makes those, too, those 10-footers. Beautiful pull-ups. That's a rare skill these days to have that 15-footer, 10-foot pull-up jumper. I love that.
Important part of any scorer's repertoire, really.
Oh, absolutely.
Brady O'Connell, as we know, a good story. Last year, battled injuries, had a brutal leg injury late in the year. Come back tonight fully healthy.
He came back. Remember he came back in the final?
He did, played injured.
Big giant knee brace on. He played through. Came back a game, I think, before that.
No knee brace tonight, no problem. He's got 13 points. He's had a couple of nice-looking assists tonight as well.
That's some good rehab because I'd want to wear a brace, I think, for a while.
Free throw is good. Well, when you're young and you're brave, no need for the brace. All right, 67-49. That's Bedford's largest lead of the ball game. Abrams is fouled.
Yeah, I was just going to say, all of a sudden we're at 18 now. Now, there's a rare time. That's another look you can take on the press. You go opposite, deep on the press. One side, everybody moves over. You throw the ball opposite. But still, you're throwing a long, high pass.
Yeah.
That's also very dangerous.
Yeah, the skip is a tough pass.
It is. It's got to be perfect.
Yeah. Free throw is good. Abrams, you like what you've seen out of the senior guard tonight?
I do. He's worked really hard, and he's not very big. He's worked really hard. He rebounds. He has no fear inside.
Offensive rebound.
Left-hand
follow for Tyler Folsey won't go. And then a foul is going to come against Central in the backcourt.
I like his effort. I mean, he fouled him. He was probably not too happy he missed the free throw, but his effort has been there the entirety of the game.
Yeah. I think Coach Lett is going to be pretty pleased.
I think so, too.
Regardless of what this final score ends up being, Central has competed tonight.
They have. It's gotten away from him a little bit here in the end.
Soden for 3, in and out. Offensive rebound, O'Connell left his feet. Nobody home on the other end. Almeida to the rim. Left hit blocked by Cal. Wow, Soden with a swat off the glass. Landed hard on the opposite end, and then Bedoyan is fouled.
You got to take another look at that. That might have been a goaltend. Soden with a great block, but the ball might have hit the backboard first. I just want to see it again, just in case. Good slow down.
Yeah, that's a goaltend.
Yeah, that ball hit the backboard first. I don't know how the trail officials would see that.
Yeah, Coach Lett, I think, was not happy about it. He's still fired up over at midcourt.
And he has a right to be angry at that. You got to see that. Ball hits the backboard. It's a goaltending call.
Nonetheless, what an athletic play.
Oh, yeah.
By Soden, and he landed hard on that left hip.
He did.
At full speed, but he's a football player. He's up. He's okay.
And I want to, again, I said I wasn't a LeBron fan, but that's a LeBron-like chase from behind block.
Yep. Free throw is tipped out of bounds.
There he is again. There he is again, Abrams.
Yep. Makes the difference for Central on that play. Nearly 3 minutes in, fourth quarter. Little Green not ready to pack it in just yet. Down 18. They're going to work inside with Mohammed, who can't get it to go. Tipped out to Braga. He's got another rebound for Bedford. O'Connell trying to avoid two defenders. And now a timeout is called by Coach Moreno. So Bedford going to draw something up here as we near the midway point, fourth quarter. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. And also by the New Hampshire Tomahawks Showcase and Development for College Lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. Nick Anastas, Justin Gorham with you. Opening night. Bedford never trailed tonight. Led 13-0 out of the gate. Central made a counter move late in that first half to cut Bedford's lead to 6 at the break. Bulldogs pushed that lead back to double figures in the third quarter. And despite Central's really 100% effort tonight, the defending champs still find themselves with a comfortable 18-point lead with 5 minutes to play.
If you've been watching this game at home or you're a fan watching here tonight, it doesn't feel like an 18-point lead. Like they've missed some shots. They've had some shots blocked and some turnovers, but it really doesn't feel like a big 18-point win. They fought really hard and played well up until a certain point. They just sort of got overwhelmed.
I'll tell you what, Central's going to win some games this year.
Oh, I think so too, just based on effort alone.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering on the timeout, do you say let's just slow down a little bit? Let's just take we'll pass the ball a little bit more. Not going to force anything. We have a big lead, and don't turn the ball over.
Well, there's a steal.
Did he call that late, or did I?
Well, the whistle was blown, I believe, either right before the steal.
Wow, I thought he called that a little late, but
what do we got a foul here? Against
foul a little
Green.
bit late on that call, unless the whistle didn't blow and we didn't hear it. It looked like a clean steal on that play. I'm not too sure what happened.
It may have been away from the ball. Either way, it's going to send Bedford's Nico Bedoyan to the free throw line, the junior point guard. Chance to add to his 2-point total. That one no good.
Now, we talked about free throws. How many free throws now? Yeah, I don't want you to have to count, but look how many free throws they've shot compared to how many free throws Central shot. Central shot, I think, 6 free throws at this point.
Bedford's got at least double that. Bedoyan, 1 for 2. Bedford's lead continues to grow at 69-50. We got a foul here against Bedoyan.
Ooh, got away with a double dribble on that.
Officials say he was pushed.
Little bump maybe from behind.
Yeah.
Oh, not much there.
Whited to the rim. Little scooper, left it short. Meanwhile, Brady O'Connell starting to hit the glass. He's got now 4 rebounds. Most of those in this second half. Meanwhile, Soden is fouled.
Called the offensive foul with the hook.
Okay.
Which is rare these days.
Got the wrap around with that offhand right in front
out
of the official. All Coach Moreno can do is smile.
Yeah, you can't say much about that one. It's an easy one to call when you see it. It doesn't happen that often.
Bulldogs in a man-to-man.
Yeah, a little more urgency right now, though, for Central in trying to maybe score quickly, find a way to not, you're down 18. You got 4 minutes and 11 seconds left. You got to score quickly. Not too sure we're on board here with everyone pressing, but that's what you want to do.
Well, they nearly slapped it away from Bedoyan, but he recovers. Now the junior trying to avoid a double team. There's Soden in the high post. Into the corner. Three-pointer for the sophomore is up and in. Landon Elsmore, he knocked one down from downtown in the first half as well.
That's right.
So he'll double his point total with that three. Bedford up 22 for the first time at 72-50. Soden goes around two defenders. Little pinwheel shot, partially blocked, but he stays with it and gets two more.
He got a rebound out of it, too. He's padding his rebound stats, Nick.
Padding the stats here late. There's a three.
They needed
DeJuan Tyler Folsey.
They needed that one desperately.
He's approaching double figures now with 9. Meanwhile, Coach Lett has got 5 new players over at the scoreboard. Sorry, at the scorer's table, ready to check in.
If I'm Coach Marino, I'm kind of thinking maybe along the same lines.
Yeah.
You don't want anybody to get hurt. It's very early. You're up 22 with 3:12 left, and he plays his bench players quite a bit.
Right.
So you could bring in 5 of those bench players right now, and I think it'd be they could keep the lead, hang on to it.
Well, both teams have really gone deep.
They have. Both
into the
sides.
rotation tonight. A lot of players on each squad getting time tonight.
Yeah, the only players that really haven't played much, I think, for Central, the JV swinger players that played in the JV game.
Yeah.
And if we look at Bedford, they got some guys, too, on their bench, the swingers that haven't been in yet. But, I mean, you're up 20, 23 at this point. Maybe you put them in at the end. Give them a little fun. First game of the year.
So 5 new players on the floor for Central. O'Connell knocks down 2 more. Starting to feel it at the line.
O'Connell and Soden are left in now, I guess, just as, just in case, maybe.
Yeah, those are the only 2 starters still on the floor for either team. Meanwhile, Gumma is fouled. So the sophomore going to head to the free throw line here with just over 3 minutes remaining.
If they can get him to get more involved in the game with Central, he's big. He's the biggest player they have. They don't have a lot of size, so they're going to need that going forward. You can see it tonight. Size has made a huge difference when some of Central's guards go to the basket. They're just running into the guys that just jump too well or too big, too long. And Bedford's not big, but Central is really small at the guard, especially.
Gumma, the sophomore, goes 1 for 2. Meanwhile, here's a good steal in the backcourt. That's Gagne. And he's going to knock that down. The youngster gives out a fist pump. His first 2 of the game.
A little full court pressure by Central, which they need to do now.
And they're not going to quit. O'Connell down the lane. A challenge shot is going to roll. The junior going to flex the muscles a bit after that bake. That's his second field goal since the break. By the way, he's closing in on a 20-point night. He's got 18. He's the game's high scorer.
Oh.
And what do we got here? A foul as O'Connell got a piece of the wrist. The youngster not happy.
I think they're going to come out. I think you'll see Soden and O'Connell come out now.
Yep. So that'll be the end of O'Connell's night. And again, unofficially, 18 points. Not a bad night's work. And Luke Soden going to follow him to the bench. He's got 19 by my count.
Soden does?
Those 2 with a combined 37.
Okay. He won't be that happy with that. He missed a lot of shots that he normally makes, I think. He missed some threes that he normally makes. I mean,
you're a pretty good player when you're not happy with 19.
Yeah, I mean, if you got 19 and you've missed the shots that he's missed tonight, he's not going to be very happy with that game. He's going to be happy that they won, and he should not have to worry about it. But
right. Meanwhile, Coach Moreno.
You have a substitution issue?
Yeah, we've got something going on here again at the scorer's table.
Well, you can sub after the first free throw, right? He's already shot one. So we get the big fella, Connor O'Rourke, the 6'5 junior. And right now against Central, it looks like he's about 6'8", doesn't he, when he comes in? The big redhead.
Yeah, 6'5 might be an understatement.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this. It says 6'5", but to me, he looks bigger.
Yeah. And that's Danny Black right next to him, the quarterback.
Oh, okay.
Who we saw briefly earlier in the game. All right, so Gama now is set.
He already shot one free throw,
Did
didn't
he?
I thought he did. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't think he did. He's going to hit this one.
There we go. Subs a little early, I guess.
He's now 2 for 3 overall at the line here in this fourth quarter. Here come the subs for Bedford. So now all the starters are off the floor for Coach Moreno. Speaking of Coach Moreno, we're going to speak to Coach Moreno coming up after the game. He'll join Justin and I live here in the stands. That plus the stats, highlights, analysis, and out-of-town scoreboard here on opening night. That is all coming up after the game. Meanwhile, foul here. A reach-in called against Central.
The dreaded reaching call. You know they're going to get called 9 times out of 10.
Yep.
Even when, I always tell kids, hey, if you play defense and you move your hands up from down below and you're not swinging down, the ref isn't going to call you moving up as much as he's going to call you swinging down.
Yeah, that's something my father always said.
Yeah, swing up.
There's a lot you can get away with when you're coming up as opposed to down. Free throw is going to roll in.
There you go. Yeah, refs aren't used to seeing your hands coming up. So I try and teach defenders to move their hands down below and reach up.
Three-pointer, no good off the window. Rebound for Elsmore, sophomore. Bedford comes into the front court. Coach Moreno says pull it out. Central still going hard here in the zone. Elsmore, elbow fadeaway.
I love it. Another good off the dribble pull-up fadeaway. You love it.
Well, another weapon off the bench for Coach Moreno. The sophomore has chipped in with 8.
Such a good shot, too. You don't teach the fadeaway, but it's a good-looking off the dribble shot, which you don't see very often.
Gumma in the high post. Traveled.
Yep.
Little off balance there as he tried to make a move to his right.
Again, though, he's got, if they can find a way to get him involved in the action more, in the offense, I think that he'll be a huge bonus size-wise for them.
I think he's got a bright future.
I mean, I don't know what grade he's in for sure. We're not too
he's listed as a sophomore.
He's also listed at 5'11". I'm not sure about that.
Definitely not 5'11". Here's a foul on the floor again against Central. Still double bonus here with 1:09 remaining. Bedford's lead, the largest it's been tonight at 82-57. This was a 6-point game at halftime.
I know, right? We talked about it. There was a certain point in the game we both said, this is huge right here. This little point, turning point right there when it kind of just switched all of a sudden.
Yep. Well, Bedford has the tendency to do that to teams. Well coached, as you mentioned, under Frank Moreno. Got Jeff Butts over there on the bench as well. He's been a big part. Taylor Grand, an alumni of Bedford High. He's a part of the staff. So they've got some stuff going on, as we know. They won the championship a year ago and are looking for back-to-back titles. There's Gumma.
Gumma for 2.
He's played well in this fourth quarter.
Yeah. Rebounded well, good defense. I think that's his first actual basket, right? So not bad. Now we might be able to find out how West did. To see one of West's assistant coaches wandering into the building a little early. I think they played at 6:30.
Well, we'll try to get you those scores from both Division I and Division II.
You always have a guy. You got a guy.
I've got some intel here.
You do. You have sources.
Yep.
So I have sources who know sources who are close to sources, but the sources don't usually come through, so they're not good sources.
Well, if you can track down that West score, I would personally appreciate
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that in a few minutes here. In fact, I might do it right this second.
Meanwhile, final 45 seconds on the clock. 83-59 Bedford. They never trailed tonight. Scored the game's first 13 points, led by 6 at the break, and their largest lead coming here in the fourth quarter. Good effort both ways in the paint. And a foul from behind as Dylan Soden, after wrestling the ball away from Central, got hit from behind over the shoulder.
The over the shoulder foul.
We're going to walk to the other end of the floor here with 27 seconds remaining.
He's hanging on to that 24-point lead. And again, I'm not feeling that bad from Central. You just
not at all.
You're just, they're a little bit bigger. You know, they have championship experience, and they lost really one guy who, you know, was their super stud. But the rest of the guys, Soden was their leading scorer last year, and you know, Brady O'Connell was a huge part of their early success until he got hurt. So you can't really feel too bad about if you're Central.
Not at all.
You were in the game through 2.5 quarters.
Final 20 seconds. Bedford sitting back in a 2-3 zone. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs, they'll have a full week off. No game Friday night.
Why do they have a bye so early?
They're going to take their time to get ready for Trinity. That's a road game a week from tonight in Manchester. Central looks to rebound Friday night on the road at Keene. That will do it. Bedford, a wire-to-wire win tonight on the road. The defending champions. Bumpy at times.
But
you can't argue with the result. 85-59 is our final. All right, coming up in just a moment, a look back at the game with stats, highlights, analysis, and, of course, an out-of-town opening night scoreboard coming your way as well. Plus, head coach Frank Moreno from Bedford is going to join us live for an interview here as well. So a lot to get to in just a moment. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another athletic program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Well, we're back here in Manchester. Nick Anastas, Justin Gorham, joined by head coach Frank Moreno of Bedford, the defending champion Bulldogs, with an 85-59 win. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank
We appreciate it. We're not going to keep you too long.
No.
You got the dream start, right? 13 points out of the gate. Looked like you were on cruise control. Central shows some fight, right? They get back in the game, and you found yourselves in a tight one at halftime. What was the difference in the second half tonight?
Well, we adjusted to their zone a little bit. We went through a lot at halftime. That's not a typical Central team sitting in a 1-2-2 or 3-2 zone. So obviously, with just a couple of weeks of practice, that's not something that we've put in yet. So we literally drew a court on the floor at halftime and walked through what we wanted to do against the zone. Picked up the defensive intensity a little bit, but we also knew they were going to be in foul trouble because they had accumulated a lot of fouls in the first half. So we really wanted to continue to attack the rim as much as possible. Luke had an off night shooting, so even more emphasis to get to the rim, and that helped us stretch the lead in the second half.
You mentioned Luke's tough night shooting. He still ends up with 19 points by my count. Not a bad fallback spot. But your bench, again, steps in. Seems like you had a lot of guys in the rotation tonight. Is this unit just as deep as last year's team?
Yeah, we're really excited about the depth we have. We can go 9-10 deep, on any given night when guys are off or in foul trouble. We can reload and bring guys in. You saw Logan O'Connell come in, hit a three. Landon Ellsmore come in, hit a couple threes. Braga came in. He was a role player for us at the end of the season last year, and did a great job defensively. So, yeah, we're a little bit bigger than we were last year, and we got a little bit more depth, so I'm excited about that.
So, Frank, you did such a good job with your press early, and every time you did press, it affected them. That to me, when you guys press, you're outstanding. That's like your best. You're at your best when you press. I think when it goes well.
We started that last year, and it's kind of become a hallmark for us. You can't do it the entire game, so we're trying to mix in some different stuff full court. But, what we try and do is get guys a little tired early and expect it, and then we throw it on in the third or fourth quarter, and it really does make a difference.
Yeah,
so.
they had a hard time finding the middle, finding what to do. They just didn't have any way to handle it.
Yeah, they went on a stretch in the first half and broke it a few times, so we pulled it off. But, that's kind of what we do. We'll throw it back on at any point in time in the second half, and that really helped us spread the lead out a little bit.
Your squad's got a full week off early in the season. How do you approach that? The next 7 days.
A lot of scouting, a lot of shooting still, and just right now we got to get some of the offensive stuff a little bit tighter. Defensively, I thought we were pretty good.
I did too.
I was really happy with the way we were jumping passing lanes. They offensive rebound a lot. I watched the film from last year, and it was the same story. They offensive rebound, so that's something we got to fix. But right now, it's turn the page, get ready for Trinity. Similar style. They got a bunch of shooters on that team. They got Devon Ellis, Evan is another shooter. I've watched them in the summer, so we got a lot to prepare for.
Yeah, Coach, congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Yeah,
Appreciate you guys being here.
Good luck. We'll see you again, I'm sure, a few more times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
That's Coach Frank Moreno joining us as we take a look at some of the stats. Coach going to join his squad back in the locker room. Again, all these numbers, of course, unofficial. As we recap this one, Bedford scored the first 13 points. Austin Kazajanski, the senior, led the charge out of the gate. 7 points in that first quarter. Had 9 more in the second half, including an emphatic two-hand dunk.
It was
that
beautiful.
Resulted
beautiful dunk.
in a technical foul. The two big horses tonight from a points perspective, no surprise. Luke Soden unofficially 19, Brady O'Connell right behind him with 18. And we saw a lot of good things from Manchester Central tonight as well. You highlighted Yori Abrams.
Yeah,
his effort had 4 points, 4 rebounds.
I had him with 6 rebounds.
I think my numbers are outdated.
Yeah, I went a little longer, 6. I just thought they didn't shoot as well. They didn't get very many free throws.
Yep.
They just and they don't have one guy. If we look at your stats, my stats, and we compare them, and I screwed up on some points. I know that. They don't have one guy that really stood out though in terms of, hey, he got 15 or 16 or 17. They don't have that right now. They don't have that one score.
Right. They had a balanced attack.
They did.
How about 10 different scores tonight?
Yes. Oh,
for
absolutely.
Coach Lett. So Central will look to rebound on Friday night at Keene. As we mentioned, opening night statewide tonight. My Manchester West Blue Knights already with a win.
A big win, a big 67-46.
Over Laconia.
An avenging loss.
That's right.
Or avenging win from last year. They lost by 8 early in the season. I think last year, first game as well, because it was at their place. This year it was at West. So they avenged the loss from last year.
So the Blue Knights 1-0 in Division II. In D1 tonight, Goffstown with a win over Bishop Girton. That's a 52-44 final.
Oh, okay.
As the Grizzlies, after a tough year last year, looking to get back.
Well, they lost their best player.
Back to where they're used to being, right.
They lost their best player.
They got it done tonight, 52-44. Nashua North, we may or may not see them Friday night. Wink, wink. They're 1-0. How about a 68-54 win over Dover? And then some of the other lower division scores. Cole Brown put up 75 tonight in a shootout over Sanborn. 75-72 the final, the win for the Bears there. And Bow, a defensive effort. They grind out a win over John Stark by a final of 56-50. Justin, your final thoughts on what we saw here tonight, which was an 85-59 Bedford victory over Central.
I saw a very experienced Bedford team that didn't get rattled. Even when Central was trying to challenge a bit, they came back, they made it a close game. I don't think Bedford ever felt like they were in trouble. If I'm Central and I'm Sudi Lett, and I go home, I talk to my players, and we have practice tomorrow, right? I'm telling those guys, you know what, you played really hard. You kept the game close for a long time. It didn't feel like a blowout until the very end of the game, a 23-point, right? 23-point loss? Or
26
final,
in 26 the end, yes.
So you talk to them about, okay, you lost by 26, but that really doesn't matter because you played hard, and going forward, we want to get more free throws. We want to turn the ball over less, and we want to stop fouling so much. We can't give the other team so many free throws and expect to win. But I don't think you feel that bad about it. They're not very big,
right.
So you're going to have to win by speed, athleticism, and just trying to get up and down the court, getting steals like they did when they made it a game. But if I'm anybody else in this division, I don't want to play Bedford very much. I don't want to play them once.
No,
I'd rather wait and see them at some other time, and hopefully I don't have to see them at all. But they're really good, and I think they're only going to get better because their bench is only going to get better.
Yeah, defending champs for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
Looking like it
absolutely.
Tonight over the course of 32 minutes. All right, I want to thank Mike Wenners and his staff here at Central for giving us the green light. Of course, our crew here at Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, dual videographers John Barron and Kat Doyle.
They are the
bang-up
best.
job.
The best in the
about
business.
as good as it gets in the state of New Hampshire. And the whole thing orchestrated behind the scenes by the Wizard of Replay.
He is indeed the Wizard. I'm glad you remembered that.
Man behind the curtain. That's our director, Ben Beals.
Absolutely.
Back in the Beals Insurance Studios. And, of course, the whole thing is overseen by the big man in the big chair down in sunny Florida.
Oh, he's
Executive
in Florida?
producer,
Oh,
Steve
you lucky
Beals.
dog, Steve. You lucky dog.
For my partner, Justin Gorham.
Glad to be back and start a new season.
Absolutely.
This is great.
Good to be back in the saddle tonight.
I'm excited.
With you, my friend. My name is Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time, Bedford 85, Central 59. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.